I did a horrific thing and prepared an intro, and now I'm like nervous to do my intro. But anyway, hi everyone, welcome to Off. It's way past my bedtime, but I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm gonna do the thing that every smart adult does and ruin my sleep schedule. Let's do this. But welcome to Off. I believe this is a French game that I played years and years ago, like when I was like 14, I think, when I was a freshman in high school. I don't remember, but it was like before it had like an official port or anything, so I had to like, go download it from probably a Tumblr link at the time is where I got it. But like this was like back when, like, I think Off and Danganronpa, those were the two fandoms I wasn't in the Danganronpa fandom, but we're talking like before Danganronpa had an official port, so like people were like interacting with Danganronpa from like people were taking screenshots of the game and translating it and posting it on some sort of forum. I don't know. That's why I never got into Danganronpa, because that's how my friends were interacting with it, and I was like, I can't do this. I know, bad. Um, Also, I was just more into Off. So I'm very excited to revisit this game, and so there are like I remember things about this game, and we'll leave it at that. And so to some degree, I don't even have mixed feelings. So, like, I know it's not as exciting when it's like I've played the game before. So it's like, to some degree, Let's Plays are about the reaction of the player. But I also think that, I have the capability of sharing games that, even though I've played them before, other people might not have been able to experience them. And so that's kind of the purpose of Off today. Also, it's been 14 years and I want to replay it. And I thought it'd be fun to share it with you as I replay. So, let's do this. Caution, it is possible that certain scenes in this game may prove shocking to an unwarned public, or maybe not. Your name is Cake, correct? Yes. I'd rather not say. All right. Welcome, Cake. You have been assigned to a being called the Batter. The Batter is on a mission. Be sure that it's accomplished. We will let you both out in Zone Zero. Good luck. For more information, find the one called the Judge. I also remember, oh my gosh, when I first played this, I remember like I remember being like halfway excited that like the player character was called the Batter, because my high school boyfriend at the time was a baseball player. So I was like, he he'll cosplay the Batter, the baseball. And I will cosplay. I think was I a Batter Judge shipper? We're getting like some deep lore here. And I don't remember what character I shipped the Batter with, but I was like, yes. And we'll cosplay them together. And my boyfriend at the time was like, absolutely not. Which, you know what, is totally fine, because I was like 14 and full of hopes and dreams, and I was absolutely never going to make those cosplays. I to this day like still have not cosplayed. Maybe one day, but not today. Okay, so to move my body, use the arrow keys. To interact with the environment, use Z. Interesting. I don't remember the game looking. Zone Zero. I don't think it was the judge. I think the judge is that it is there's a character I'm thinking of. There can be no living beings in Zone Zero. I deduce, therefore, that you are a figment of my imagination. Nevertheless, I will introduce myself. I am the judge. Yeah, I was definitely thinking of a different character. I was not a Batter Judge shipper. I am the judge, and I am aching to know your name, my dear illusionary interlocutor. I'm the Batter. I've been entrusted with a sacred mission. Delighted, I'm sure. But I am not addressing the body, only the soul that it harbors. What is your name, controller? Their name is Cake. They can't talk to us. However, they can see and hear everything. Although to me you are nothing more than an imaginary specter, I must say that I am delighted to make your acquaintance as well, my dear Cake. I believe we need your help. Many people require my services, you know. Everybody loves cats. We rub ourselves against their legs and purr in a most insistent manner. They adore that. I'm not talking about that kind of help. I see. But what sort of service could I offer to an ectoplasmic entity? I have a sacred mission to fulfill. I must purify the world. There is no objective more laudable. Therefore, I agree to serve as your guide through this place, if I may be of any assistance. Thanks. It's interesting to see. I'm sure this game, like, minus the border that's happening, because that absolutely did not exist when at least I don't think it did. I wonder if I can still find the original, like, file floating around there. It just, like, it looks so, like, I don't remember the batter character that's moving around right now looking like this. However, comment 448287C. Quite peculiar. But I don't know, like, why it would be different, you know? Okay. It's impossible to get around this obstacle. A luck ticket has been found. Allow me to confess that I find you quite tangible for a phantasmagorical being. Might you in fact be a person of flesh and blood? I think so. I was mistaken from the first, and you did not even interrupt my fanciful soliloquizing. I must say this is really quite strange. You're the first living being I have ever met in this place. I had concluded, therefore, that Zone 0 was empty. It's all too obvious that I was mistaken. Now then, there are other zones. In those territories, you may find yourself subject to the violent attentions of certain hostile individuals. Your sacred mission may well lead you to those places. Would you like me to acquaint you with the art of violent confrontation? Combat tutorial? Yes, I don't remember. Purification in process. This is the battle screen. As you can see, you will find yourself placed on the right side of the screen. Meanwhile, your opponent, in this case your humble servant, will be placed on the left, positioned appropriately for single combat. As battle begins, you will be given your first choice. You must decide between attack, defend, competence, and objects. Normally, attack will allow you to engage your opponent in the classical manner. Now it is time to put theory into practice. Choose the word attack from the menu, undulating before you, and then select my form to slay me with your bat. The batter attacks. Excellent, my dear sportive companion. Remember that the impact of your assault is determined by the level of both the batter and his opponent. Your iron volition may result in the occasional critical strike. This will cause the teeth to fly in heaps, I'm sure. When you're ready, strike again. It is also possible for you or your adversaries to slyly avoid the offensive moves you exchange. Just as it is your goal to purify these specters, they wish to eliminate you. You may guard against such feeble attempts. Choose defend and protect yourself from one of my dastardly blows. Now, once more, if you'd be so kind, to prove your mastery of defense. Interesting. Even the best sportsmen, I believe, are subject to the callous vicissitudes of the playing field. Is it supposed to be vicious? Do not fret. You can recover from these grievous injuries. Competence permits you to use one of your special talents. Objects grants you access to the inventory you are carrying. Now, let us attempt to utilize an object. Take this luck ticket and graciously use it on the batter's person. The judge just covers. Impeccable. Your mastery of battle borders on brilliancy, my friend. There is one thing we have not yet addressed. I'm speaking, of course, of your competences. Speaking generally, they are special moves that trigger surprising effects. For example, a competence might trigger an unusually powerful attack, or induce a resurgence of health points. In any case, you must remember that using a competence will incur some degree of competence cost. So I suggest you wield these skills with parsimony? Sometimes it's hard to decipher the 8-bit text. With competence costs exhausted, you will find heavy assaults impossible to carry out. And if by some mischance you cross swords with a more than worthy opponent before recovering it, victory will be uncertain at best. Now then, let us try one. Choose competence and then run with courage, a skill calibrated to brutalize your enemies. Now you have mastered not only this competence, but the very art of combat. You must remember that there is a cost to showing your steely resolve in this way. Your sacred mission will depend on your mastery of these abilities. The confrontation ends, theoretically, when the health points of you and your confreres, or those of your opponents, fall to 0. Do take care of your health if you are hoping to pursue a career in purification. 50. Now you are ready to dispose of all the impure obstacles standing between you and the success of your luminous mission, provided that your intelligence is as advanced as your undeniable capacity for raining bad blows upon an innocent cat. At all events, your training has not yet reached its end. Please do follow me if you would like my guidance a while longer. I'm going to follow the judges to that. No, I do want this, actually. There we go. Just because I wasn't sure if the music was registering on OBS, so it might have been awkwardly quiet until now. Oh, not that. One. Ah, yes. Passing through here will require the careful operation of your cerebral apparatus. You know, the one bathing limply in your languid cranium. I believe that these floating blocks correspond in some way or another to the symbols you see before you on the wall. Stop going up and down the steps. Oh, stop going up and down the steps. Okay. 1, 2, 4. No. 1. Oh, okay. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3. I wonder if that changes every time. Haha, finally, after all our exertions, the eagerly awaited recompense arrives upon the scene. Having a little snack. Crunch, nom nom, crunch. Ooh, okay, cool. Ooh, wait, gotta open this. Ooh. Piece of silver flesh has been found. Okay, so 448287 something. 448287C. Is that not 8? No, that'd be 7. 8, 2, 8, 7. I'm gonna assume center? Oh, wait. 4, 4, 8, 2, 8, 7. This? Cool. A red box. Now feast your eyes upon an accessory that will prove especially useful on your purifying quest, my enlightened student and supportive friend, and sportive friend. It is a cube floating in the air, as you have no doubt noticed. Nevertheless, you will be able to distinguish it from its fellows by the tasteless contrast forced upon your gaze by its clashing colors, which defy any sensible theory of the visual arts. Do not judge it too quickly, however, for in spite of its questionable appearance, this red cube possesses an undeniable utility. In addition to restoring your health and competence points in their entirety, it is capable of saving your progress and sending you to the nothingness. The nothingness is a place of transition outside space itself, where you can travel from one point to another at the speed of light. Now, I invite you to try it for yourself, in order to discover regions more populous than this deserted place. Open your wings, my dear companion, and fly toward the zones ahead without hesitation. Your only enemy is the fear that will grip you. Okay. Do not worry. I too travel widely across the zones of this world. I am certain we will meet again. Ah yes, by the by, take this. This curiously named item is the key that will grant you entry to Zone 1. Have I explained that you can at any moment examine yourself and your inventory by pressing C? The Leo card has been found. Silver Flash recovers a moderate amount of has access to Zone 1. Health points and competence points were completely restored. Save the game. Back to the nothingness.